Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamutiraye Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Today we are discussing Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 and text number 1. So from this chapter Krishna starts speaking in Bhagavad Gita. In the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, only Arjuna spoke, and Sanjaya was telecasting, or Sanjaya was transferring that message. Krishna did not speak in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita. He allowed Arjuna to speak. So I remember long back one Acharya explained that look at the gentlemanship of Krishna. He allowed Arjuna to speak 60 verses which was contradicting, which didn't had a clear meaning, which was full of emotions, which expressed Arjuna was weak. Krishna did not speak. This one small thing, if we examine whether we have this quality, whether we have patience to listen someone who is speaking without proper understanding, a immature talk or some kind of a meaningless talk for Krishna, if something is happening in front of us, we will lose patience. We will not have the tolerance to listen. Arjuna spoke more than 60 shlokas in first chapter of Gita. From there itself, the psychological lesson starts of Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna is going on talking and talking and talking. Krishna patiently listening to all the conversation. Then, when Arjuna became tired of talking and he himself realized that he is talking some meaningless things, then he surrendered to Krishna and said, Karpanya dosho bhagata svabhavaha prachami tvam dharma sammuda chetha yachreya syannischitam bruhi tanme shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam. When he said, Krishna, please accept me as your Sishya, then Krishna spoke. The Acharya explains, this is the gentlemanship of Krishna. We should never speak in an assembly of learned men unless we are asked to speak so. Unless we were given permission to speak in an assembly of learned personalities, Gyanis, men with wisdom and maturity, we should not speak. In Ramayana, Hanuman will only speak if Ram asks him to speak. But in our case, we always barge in and speak non-related things, immature things. So, this is the first, today we are discussing the first shloka of the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, where still Arjuna is telling. And in the first shloka, Arjuna is moved with tears and he had lot of compassion for his relatives his brothers, his friends. Then, seeing Arjuna's situation, Krishna has decided to speak. So here the shloka says, Arjuna's heart filled with compassion. In the future shlokas, Krishna will be addressing Arjuna, saying that, Arjuna, you really did not understand what is the meaning of compassion. உனக்கு உண்மையான பரிவு தயா என்னன்னு கூட புரியல. You didn't understand what is meant by compassion. Compassion nowadays in the present world, what is compassion? Somebody didn't had money to drink, so somebody gives money for drinking alcohol, hot drinks, taking him for a movie. Now the modern world terms these things as compassion. We gave somebody medicine, they are sick. We are not blaming. These activities takes the last stand in real compassion list. Having compassion for the soul is the real compassion. Not giving money, getting them little food, and giving them home for a homeless one. Good, very good. It's important in this world. But when you compare with the real spiritual compassion, these things don't come there in the list. Because we are not giving a permanent solution. We are simply giving timely solace, that is all. Real compassion can uproot our miseries. It should uproot our miseries. But this modern world, we just give little solace, little nice sweet words and little tidbits here and there, a spoon of food. That's all we do. So, this word compassion is beautifully explained. What is it? Recently in a country, on the highway, these camels and the giraffe, what do you call it, giraffe, that tall ones with a long neck, they keep running in the street and hitting the cars. And when people rush in their car and hit a camel, the camel falls on the car, and that huge mammoth animal, when it falls on the car, it crashes the car. So people get killed. So the government decided, let us put electric fence to the entire stretch of the highway. And when the camel and all these animals, they come, touch the fence, they get electrocuted and killed. And in this way, the government has protected the passengers in the car. Can we term this as a real solution and a safety measure? Somewhere the human beings are saved, but these poor innocent animals are killed. I happened to read an article about Singapore. Just because these pigeons are shitting on the windows of the apartments, they are charging 500 Singaporean dollars fine if you keep a bowl of water in the windows for pigeons. If you keep a bowl of water, small cup of water for pigeons in the windows, you have to pay $500 fine. Where that element called mercy has disappeared. Giving a few drops of water for pigeon, they term it pigeon culling, culling, pigeon culling. And the government went on a marathon killing all the pigeons, sparrows. And in the park, They have put tiny speaker and the speakers are making quick the bird's noise and people are feeling very happy. We have lost the meaning of word compassion, mercy, everything. We have given a new definition for all these things. And our definition is not going to get along with the truth. And definitely nature will react. So what is compassion? A real compassion means training and equipping the soul so that he can face the challenges himself. That is real compassion. Training him so that when any natural calamity comes in this world, any disappointment, any hurting, any challenges, he is equipped himself to overcome it. Teaching a man how to cook his meal is far better than donating a meal to a person. By sponsoring a meal to a person, you solve his one-time problem. But if you teach him how to cook and eat, we are solving his lifetime problem. In the same way, our scriptures gives different things. What is meant by compassion? There was a poet, a famous poet in Vrindavan. Even now, you will get that poet's book, not from our Gaudiya Vaishnav Sampradaya, he is from a different Sampradaya. You will get his book, but one of his famous book is called Krishnanjali or something. And this book is incomplete. There is a beautiful story behind this book. It's incomplete. This book is incomplete. This young boy who was a student of a spiritual master staying in Gurukul, in ashram. And every day this guru used to scold him left and right, bang him. Any time the guru will be simply chastising, scolding, blaming, insulting in front of others. And this boy felt very bad. So he was feeling so bad because why my teacher is scolding me every day for no reason in front of others. So one day he decided, I will kill my guru. He is not fair. He is hurting me so much. So he took a huge boulder of rock and climbed the roof where his guru is sleeping. Removed all the tiles, everything, roof tiles. And he was right above his guru's head and he wanted to drop that stone on guru's head. So when he was all set and ready, his guru, the Guru Mata, guru's wife, is asking to Guru, why are you always scolding this boy? Such a nice boy. And he is doing so much of seva, very good boy, he is learning, picking up things. Why are you scolding? Then the teacher said, he is my favorite disciple, very favorite. I like him so much. By chastising, I am shaping him to be the future Acharya. A stone which is not ready to get the hammering of a sculpture will never take a beautiful form. I love him so much. He is very dear to me. He is my dear disciple. That's why I am scolding him. The moment when the student heard this, his eyes were filled. He cursed himself and took the stone and he walked back.